What's up everyone, Emil here. I just wanted to make a quick little update video because I haven't uploaded a serious video to my channel in close to 6 months now, and there's two reasons for that. One is because I've just been working. I work full-time as a physical therapist, and on average it's close to like 50 hours a week. I use my voice all day at work. I see about 15 patients a day, sometimes more, and I'm speaking the whole day. My voice is just drained by the time I get home, so I don't like to do anything vocally on the days I have work. I don't even practice on those days. And then the other reason is because I have been in the process of upgrading my, studio video production, music production room. This is actually a different room than my previous videos, and this was only supposed to be a 2-week endeavor, but it ended up taking like 3 months just because life gets in the way and it just kept getting dragged out. And I also had to acquire everything I needed to set this room up properly. So I live in a condominium, and this room was like a small bedroom that I've been using for storage. Well, I decided I needed to get rid of most of the crap I had in here, move what was left over to my other room that I used to use, and set this room up as like a legitimate studio. My bandmate, Paul, had to come down and help me because there was some furniture in here and it was just a lot of work I couldn't get done by myself. It took him a while to find the time to come down here and help me, and then he also had some PC parts he gave me, and I, purchased the rest of the PC parts. So I built a whole new PC for video and music production, and for the rest of this video, I just want to show you my whole setup because I'm super proud of it. As for future videos, I do have a bunch of ideas for videos I plan to make. I just didn't want to start making a new video knowing that I would be moving everything into a different room. So now, let me show you my new setup, and if you live in a condo or an apartment and you really want to be able to record your vocals, but you're just worried about, other people hearing you, hopefully this will give you some ideas. Okay, so this is my new setup, and I've got all of the walls decked out in the Audimute sound absorbing blankets, which you've seen in my previous videos, but they work very well, and I didn't buy all of these at once. I acquired them over like a 3-year period. I would definitely recommend them to anyone trying to insulate a space because they cover a good bit of space. It's like 4 feet by, I want to say 7 feet, and $74, and they look good. You could spend the same amount of money on just a bunch of random materials and get a worse result. So especially if you're trying to insulate a smaller area, I would absolutely recommend them. They've been great. And I'm still using my vocal booth, which I will continue to use because it just works super duper well. I just have a bunch of wires in here right now, but as you can hear, recording this through my phone, sound goes into these corners and it just dies. That's how we designed it. A buddy of mine helped me build this 4 years ago, and it was pretty cheap, only about $180 to build this thing, and that includes all of it. So this is medium density fiberboard, and an 8-foot by 6-foot sheet of this was like $30 at the time. It's probably more expensive now. This is just cheap foam on Amazon. I kind of got lucky and found this piece of foam. And then this is a moving blanket, which was $80, and this was before I knew about the Audimute blankets. If you're going to do something like this, definitely just go with the Audimute blanket and drape it over the top because it's going to work way better. Plus, when I first opened this, I should have ran it through the washing machine and dried it because this thing is still raining tiny little microscopic fibers down on my head whenever I record. So that's always fun. And this right here is my new microphone. This is the Feline Audio K10. Really good quality microphone. It does sometimes produce this staticky vocal fry sound, and I'm not really sure why, but otherwise I've been really satisfied with this microphone. His name is Shrub. He's my new cat. I named him Shrub because I found him in a bush, and he's been living with me for almost 2 weeks now. Say hi, Shrub. Yeah, good cat. This is my new computer. Much better for video and audio production stuff. My other computer was a beast, but it was really more for gaming. So gonna really enjoy editing on this thing. Half of these parts I already had. The other half, Paul just had lying around and gave them to me. These are my new studio monitors. These are Yamaha HS3s. They were pretty affordable, and they're not the best studio monitors, but I'm really just going to be mixing my own vocal covers, so I don't need anything too fancy. So this is my vocal chain. Now, it starts off with my microphone, which plugs into this preamp. This is the Tube MP Studio. And then this goes into this, which is a digital compressor, which then goes into my audio interface, and then that goes into my computer. This is a Furman power filter, which is supposed to help get rid of any staticky buzzing sound, because I have a lot of devices plugged into the outlets in this room, and I get this like staticky buzzing noise floor that gets in the way. Like, you definitely hear it when there's just like silence being recorded. All you hear is just bzzz, and this is supposed to help get rid of that. Does it work? No, not really. I don't notice a difference whatsoever, but it is surge protected, and there's 8 outlets on the back of this thing, so I can plug in a lot of devices and be confident that if a storm were to hit and lightning were to strike, that it would be surge protected and protect those devices. So yeah, I guess it was worth it. This monitor, I found at a thrift store for $20. 36 inches. It's not super fancy. It's just 60 hertz, 1080p. But, I mean, $20 for this thing? All I'm doing is editing videos and music. Absolutely a steal. This stand I also found at a thrift store for $20. And this is just a cheapo Dell monitor I had laying around that I'm using as a vertical display. So, now, that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, this desk, actually, is a standing desk. So if I wanted to raise it up, look at that. So this is going to be amazing because I can, work on the computer here, come right over here to record. Hi, Shrub. And then come back to the computer and just go between. Whereas before, I was having to go in and out of my walk-in closet, which honestly sucked. And I couldn't use studio monitoring. I couldn't plug in headphones into my interface to hear myself in real time. I was just doing vocal covers and recording with wireless earbuds in. And it wasn't great because I couldn't really hear myself too well. I didn't have that real-time feedback. So I also couldn't hear, it sucked. And I couldn't run a cable all the way into my walk-in closet. I could have, but then taking it off, having to come out here, pause the recording, reset. Eventually, I started streaming to my iPad in that closet. And I was dealing with a full second of latency. I was trying to use a wireless mouse and keyboard to control my computer from another room so I wouldn't have to leave my recording closet. And I was trying to move the mouse, and it would I'd move it and you wouldn't see anything change until a second later. That was annoying. So this is a new song that Paul and I are working on, and we've been working on it for about a year now. The last song we released, Hero of the Federation, came out in October of last year. We've been working on this sucker for a full year because we are absolute perfectionists, and it takes us forever to get anything done when we're always this could be better, that could be better. We want every song we release to be an absolute banger. We don't want any skips. We don't want any filler. Every song we make has got to become your favorite song. That's the goal, okay? So I'm going to show you a little bit of this because it's amazing. And this song is called Lords of Cobol. It's based on Battlestar Galactica. Okay, so this is right before the first verse. I'm just going to start it from here.
Inventing the minds of our scientists.
So yeah, this thing turned out amazing, and I can't wait to release it and move on, because working on a single song for 1 year, you start to get sick of it after a while, but I'm still super proud of it, and it's going to be great when we actually finally get around to releasing it. It's funny because I had 90% of the stuff I needed to do this already that I acquired over years, and I didn't really have the idea to convert this room into this until a few months ago, and I was like, why don't I just do that? It's way better. I'm super excited to have this space. It's going to make my workflow so much more efficient. In terms of video ideas, I plan to make a vocal analysis video for Dane Evans of To the Grave. I want to make an updated version of the Anatomy of Metal Vocals, maybe Anatomy of Metal Vocals 2026, because I've learned even more, and more about the biomechanics, more about what's going on. I just want to make a more comprehensive video on that, and I want to redo my false chord screaming and fry screaming exercise programs, because I liked what I did with my old ones, but I've learned even more. Better ways to communicate it, more ideas, more exercises, more concepts for people to think about and latch onto, to make more light bulbs go off in people's heads when they watch the videos, so that, my goal is that a beginner can just watch one of those exercise programs and know exactly what they need to do to learn to false chord or fry scream, and just go through the steps and think critically about it, and just feel confident that they can learn how to scream without ever needing to take a lesson from anybody. So yeah, look forward to that. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for being a subscriber. Thanks for supporting me. And remember, you guys can always email me if you have any questions on vocals, if you want to send me a recording, if you need feedback on something. So take advantage of that. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Oh my God, he's just hanging out in the corner. Can you believe I found this kitten in a bush? It was the bush right in front of my building, too. So I was leaving one morning to go to work. It's like 6:30 in the morning, and I hear this kitten just screaming from that bush. And a bunch of my neighbors heard him, too. They were standing out, and, the kitten doesn't belong to anybody. All of my neighbors heard it, and basically everybody within the vicinity of my building knew about this kitten, because it was like the talk of the town. Everyone was trying to get him out of the bush. So I tried to get him out of the bush, but I was going to be late for work, and he kept running away. Later that day, I got home, and I tried to find him, but I couldn't. But later that night, I faintly heard him meow. So I step outside, and I was like, was that what I think it was? And it was, and I heard him again, and I went back to the bush, and there he was. So I got some wet cat food, and I lured him out, and I was actually planning on adopting a kitten, like, really soon. So I already had kitten food, I already had catnip, and cat litter. I already had everything. And so, I got him, put him in my bathroom for, like a day, just so he can get acclimated. And he was very combative at first. He was hissing. He did not like being picked up, but now he lets me pick him up. He hangs out, he chills in my lap while I'm working on the computer. When I get home from work, he just runs straight to me. He does not leave me alone. So he's like my little soul kitten. And I love him. I'm keeping him.